Oh, it's recording.
All right, I guess I do.
Woohoo!
'Cause I have a Dropbox thingy to send to Darlene, so I'll have to find it. Okay, we'll figure this thing out. Would that be in my Zoom account later on? Probably. I think there's a little recording.
Like a
Window thing.
library type of thing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So call the meeting to order. Make sure that nobody's waiting here. We can elevate our alternates. Can I have a motion for that, please?
Motion to elevate the alternates.
Second.
It's Michael or Blythe and then Mike. If Diane doesn't come on, I'm going to ask somebody to take minutes.
You can go off the recording if you want to.
Yeah. Well, somebody can go back and watch it.
That's what she did the last time.
Okay. We have a first and a second. Can I have a vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Acceptance of the agenda. Motion, please.
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Let's see. And acceptance of the minutes of April 19th monthly meeting and the April 1st special meeting.
Do you have to do that separately, or do you need to do it both at the same time?
I think we can do them together.
Okay. That being said, I will make a motion that we accept it.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay. I don't think we have any correspondence. I don't. Does anybody else? Okay. Public and invited guests. We have Miranda and Connie. Either of you need to speak now? Okay.
I was gonna talk about the field, so I don't know if that would be for the parks.
I do have the fields on the agenda under new business.
Oh,
And
okay.
Lynn,
Yep, perfect.
Yeah,
Lynn, mine was about the concerts, so I'll wait for that part of the agenda as well.
okay,
Okay, great, thanks.
all right. So we are introduction or interim director's report. There is no director's report at this time. We are working on an interim director, but it's not finalized yet. So when that does happen, we will introduce that person. Moving on to after school program. It seems to be going well. I have no reports on it, but the counselors are doing great and are liking it. Our new counselor really likes it, so I'm happy there. Anybody else have anything they want to say on that? Parks. We have a bit to talk about on parks, so
Diane wants to get in.
yep, I got it. Sorry.
She's banging at the door.
I got her. She's in.
Wait to take minutes.
Admitting minutes and running. So as far as the parks projects go, John, you want to talk about the fences, John and Diane?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So in order to, Diane, I'm not able to get out and talk to these people. So Diane could probably talk better about it. But yeah, the fences at the tennis courts needed repair and also at Emery Park. So Diane, are you there? Hello, Diane?
Did I not?
Unmute her.
Oh, no, she has to unmute herself.
Hang on a second.
Unmute, sorry.
There you
Okay.
go.
Okay, at Emery Park, there's the main gate needs to be repaired. It's been broken off. And there's also a section of fence near the second gate that's kind of really, it looks like somebody pushed either there's been kids kicking balls at it, or the kids have been pushing on it, because it's like really loose and it's like stretched. So kids can actually get under it. They would be able to crawl under it. So that needs to be repaired. There's also section of fencing in the back that needs fill. And I talked to John about that. I think he knows about that. When I say fill, I mean, we need to put some soil, because the kids can crawl underneath it again, but it's that part of the fence doesn't need to be repaired. It's just that they can get under it. John said emergency management wants to add another gate on the far end of the park as like an emergency exit. Should there be somebody, coming with a weapon or something in the main gate, so the kids can escape the back. So I got quotes from 3 people on that. And then also out of the 3 companies that I met with, that I got quotes with, only one of them actually does the locking system. The other 2 said we'd have to hire a separate locksmith to do that. And he actually recommended, it was Connecticut Fence that will do the locking system. And he recommended that we do one on the back gate as well, because he said, you're really just paying for the device itself. The labor is, they're there anyway. So that's minimal. So I got 3 quotes. John, I never got the 3rd quote. They sent it directly to you.
I never got it. So he must have got the wrong email or something. Or I checked my trash. I've checked everything, and it's not there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll call him. He did say he was going to send it to your address, and I actually called and left a message when I talked to you the other day, and you said you hadn't received it. And I left Friday evening. I left them a message saying that we never received it. If they could resend it, and I asked them to send it to me, and I never got it either. So it looks like we only have 2 quotes, but I met with 3 people. The first one, if I could do a screen share. Host disabled attendee screen sharing.
Can I fix that?
Yeah.
Just make her a host, a co-host. Can you make her a
I
co-host?
just changed it to multiple participants can share simultaneously. Does that work?
Can you see it?
No, not yet.
Yeah, you may want to make her a host.
How do I do that?
Go to participants.
Yep, go to find her
and
name
find her name.
under more.
Click under
Wait,
more, and it says make.
did that
oh,
work?
Here it is.
There it is.
Okay.
All right. Where is it now? I'm sorry, I'm really not that great with this. Where is it? I put it down here before the meeting. All right, one of them here, one of them's in an email. This is Connecticut Fence. And to be quite honest with you, I got the best vibe from this guy. Where did it go? I'm sorry. Now I gotta.
Diane, I just wanted to make you aware that your text messages are in the background on the screen right now.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. One of my friends just had abdominal surgery. So if you saw that, that's what that was about.
I just wanted,
Okay. Let me see. Here he is. Okay. So this is the quote. To install the lock. Install the 4-foot wide gate with auto lock and repair gate hinges on front gate and the pool. So this would be the Emery quote. And then the tennis court, I forgot to tell you, there is one latch that needs to be repaired at the tennis court. It's that the kids broke. So it looks like it would be around, 1,500 for Emery, and then 2,300 for the tennis courts, the tennis court area. But did you guys get a copy of this? Lynn, I think I sent
No.
it to you.
Oh, yeah, I got that.
Okay. I mean, I can send this out to
I didn't get
everyone.
the one from John. I got the two from you.
Okay. He seemed to be, I mean, that would be the easiest to go with this Justin, because he knows, I mean, they do the locking system as well. And he just seemed pretty knowledgeable about everything. The only thing that he was actually the first person that I met with. The last person that I met with that has not sent us a quote, apparently, he mentioned that the Emery Park main gate was not to code because it's not it doesn't close by itself after someone goes through it. And he thought that needed to be repaired. So the only thing we'd have to add to this estimate for Connecticut Fence would be, we'd have to have them add that something to the fence to make it close automatically. A spring or something, I guess they add. So it doesn't stay open after someone goes through it. So another child can run through there, like a small child could run in there and get into the pool.
Do we know if that is something that they can do to the existing gate, or they're not going to come back at us and say they can't do that with the size of the fence and the gate that we have, and suddenly we have to reinvest?
I'll call him and ask him. The third guy that I met with, that, you know what, I didn't bother to call these other two because I figured, let me see how much the third guy is going to charge us for it. And then I can, when I go back to Justin at Connecticut Fence, I can have an idea of, what that add-on would be. So when he gave me a price, I'd know if it was, kind of accurate.
Are you talking about the pool?
The pool, yeah, the
And
pool.
it sounds like, I mean, is it correct that they're installing it? I think it looks like he's proposing installing a new gate, like a whole new gate. So there wouldn't be that issue, right?
Well, they're adding, all three quotes included a third new gate in the back that isn't there now, an emergency exit. But the main gate now, that's the existing, there's two gates now. So we would be adding a third in the back of the pool. The two that are existing now are in the front. One is on the right, one is on the left. Actually, both of them probably need to have a spring or something put on them so they close automatically when someone goes through them. Self-closing, they call it.
Mhm.
But the first two people that I met with didn't kind of pick up on that. It was the third person that did. So we're talking about, like I said, at Emery, fence repair where the fence is stretched out, adding another gate in the back, and then repairing one of the gates that's broken and making sure the existing two close, have the self-closing mechanism on them. And then here, I'll find the other one. This is a Desi. This was the second guy that came. But they don't do anything, there was no quote for the locking mechanism because they don't sell it and they don't install it. He said we'd have to get a locksmith to do it. So, I mean, they're kind of similar, the quotes, 21 and 23. But yeah, we would have to go back and have him, we'd have to, this quote, like I said, does not include the locking mechanisms for the tennis courts and the self-closing springs on the 2 front doors. But I think we're gonna have to wait for that 3rd quote to come in too, before we do anything. And I'll, for the next meeting, what I'll do is from the first 2, I'll find out what it would cost to install that self-locking mechanism. So we can have, 3 comparable estimates. The only thing is we'd have to, I guess I have to, John, at this point, does this mean now we're gonna have to get 3 locksmith quotes to
No, we don't have to do that. So this particular locking system is hard to get. So I ordered it about 2 months ago and it finally came today. So I have that locking system with the solar power. So we can eliminate some of the cost on both these. So it's not too bad. But yeah, I mean, it's something that we need. We can track how many people are going in and going out, and everybody that goes in there or buys a pass will have a key code number. And no electricity is required. It's battery operated. It's solar powered, and it's a unique system. And it's hard to get because they run out real quick. So I have that in my house. Came today. But yeah, definitely. We should take some. Yeah, we have to redo those quotes. Take off the lock on one of them. That's about it.
Yeah, okay, so we'll get these adjusted for the next meeting and get that, then we can.
Can we
Just
do
to-
a special meeting as soon as you get it or around when you get it? Because, well, it
Yeah,
depends on what budget we want to put this on and how quickly they can get to it.
Yeah, I would suggest we try and get it done before the end of this budget year, which is July 1st, right?
June 30th, yeah.
June 30th. Okay. And
My first starts next year.
To go with that first guy, but. All
Yeah.
right.
As soon as you can get a hold of that 3rd one.
Okay, I'll do that. John, what do you guys think about doing the lot? I mean, I understand what he was saying, you might as well do a lock on the back gate, but it's probably never going to be used. So even if it only costs even if it's only the cost of the device itself, it's kind of a waste of money, I think. I guess,
At Emery Park,
yeah.
I think I
No,
just
not at
need this.
Emery, at the tennis courts. They were saying, one of the guys was saying, the first guy, he said, you might as well put a lock on the back. In fact, his quote would go down because I think it includes 2 combination locks. Did he include 2 or 1?
one, it says here.
Oh, it only says 1. Okay. Well, he kind of suggested doing a second one and it would really only be the cost of the device. But something that might also include, because John, I didn't know you ordered it.
Well, yeah, I did it 2 months ago.
I have some
Because
questions about these.
you know what, that might include the cost of the device too, the locking device. So we'd take that off the cost.
Yeah.
The
And
first.
tell them what we have so they know, get the
Well, send-
information from John when you tell these guys so that they know what locking system you have and that they're familiar with it and able to hook it
Right.
up. Or do we
Yeah.
need them to hook it up?
And it's real simple. It's battery operated, and there's a couple of 2 or 3 wires. Maybe even your husband could install it real quick.
He's booked for 2 months. I don't know. If
Okay,
that's gonna work.
okay.
Question about the key code for the tennis courts. Is that something that we all discussed? I know I've been out of the loop.
Yeah, the key code holds up to 30 codes, and you can do it
If that's
numerous
something
times.
we
What's
dis-
that?
If we've discussed that as a commission, is that
Yes.
a decision we made to put a key code at the tennis court?
Yes, it was, because of all the damage that's been done to it.
Okay, and how are we communicating that to people so that they know how to operate the thing and know what the code is?
Well, we won't do that. We won't put that lock on there until we get the communications out first.
I just, no, I think that like, it's just important that we're not prohibiting people from using it because of this
No.
code, no?
No, but it was understandable that over the years that everybody would have a pass. And unfortunately, not a lot of these people have a pass. Like a couple of years back, there was a guy giving tennis lessons and he didn't have the authority.
I understand that. I'm just asking the question about the code and making sure that.
Yeah, I gave you that. It's
something
30,
that
you
people can.
can do it over and over again.
Okay, and then with the pool, have we decided to fill the pool and open it this season?
I think that's further ahead.
Well, because we're having a lengthy discussion about securing it with the fencing, so I'm just curious if we've made a decision of that we're opening it.
I think, yeah, well, I think regardless, it's part of our property and you want to protect your property.
Yeah, it needs to be locked. Yeah.
Whether we fill it or not. I mean, you got to protect
It
it.
needs to be on there because it's a hazard. It's a huge hole.
Okay,
I mean, last year or 2 years ago, they threw in last year they threw in the picnic table just around about January. So they picked that picnic table up, crashed through the locks and threw it in the swimming area.
Yeah, I mean, if someone fell in there, it's a cement hole and it's like, it says 7 feet. It looks like 9 feet to me, but it's huge too. That could be the skate park, by the way, but I'm not gonna go there right now.
So it was drained. Billy McCann is going to go over and do what he normally does and get it prepared. And possibly he's going to see if he can get back to the feeder pond and get rid of the old beaver dam that's been deemed not used. It's unused. It's an old dam. So he's going to hopefully be able to get rid of that and look for anything, whatever he's been doing for the last couple of years, look for any repairs that need to be done. And we can go from there. If we decide on filling it, we should work on that as soon as Billy's done and whatever repairs need to be done. I've been talking to someone here in town and they have a lifeguard instructor and they are willing to let us borrow him. So one of our problems is always finding lifeguards, whether we do the camp or not. I'll talk about that in a minute. But if we can at least get the pool open, would be really nice. I have had numerous people reach out to me and ask that the pool be reopened this year. So anyway, we could use the lifeguard instructor to run our own class and hopefully get, maybe some sort of, when they take the class, if we pay for the class, then they come to work for us.
Incentive,
So-
yeah, an incentive program. That's great.
Yeah, so if we want, I can start working on that.
I would
Please.
say that the thing with the pool in terms of access for like keeping it open is we need it to be open when people are going to use it. And I know that it's, at least since I've moved to this town, not open on the weekends because they can't have lifeguards. So I just think we have to think about this in order of, is it worth it to go through the effort if we can't actually have it open when people want to use it because we don't have the resources to, we don't have the people to staff it. Because it's a
That's
big effort.
Why I'm hoping and, if we pay for a class that we'll be able to get in some people joined up and I don't know, it's a problem every year finding lifeguards. We pay well, we pay on rainy days. We have to try, I think.
That's a statewide problem too. It's very hard to
Right.
get.
I'm just saying that it's also a big effort on, it's all of our time in thinking about the pool and opening the pool. If it's not open, maybe there's a threshold for, if we can't have it staffed for a certain amount of time, maybe we can't open it.
I agree, but we,
Do we run it 9 to 5? Lynn, wasn't it 9 to 5 in 2019?
I think they're open till 6.
Okay,
And yeah, I'd like to see it open on the weekend, but it had to be Monday through Friday because we have the camp.
right. And we couldn't get the lifeguards on the weekends because they weren't available.
No, I think more like we didn't have enough, and by the time
Right,
they
yeah.
did Monday through Friday, they were at their hours.
Can I ask if do we have enough information to hire one of these companies to do the fences? Because speaking of work issues, I know we've all probably heard about, there's like a lot of work shortages right now. And might be good, seeing as it's the middle of May, to get on these people's calendar. Just so that we just have a work order. We have that, we are on their calendar so that we don't lose them, because people are going to want to start using these facilities pretty soon. Could we at least decide who we want to hire, and then we can figure out the other stuff later?
Definitely. Yeah, let's vote on that now if we can.
But we only have 2 of the 3 that we need.
Sometimes we go with 2. I mean, the other guy didn't seem, I mean, we gave him plenty of time to submit this proposal.
Can you hear me? I don't know. I'm probably not. Okay. I'm kind of surprised he didn't send an estimate, because he sounded kind of interested, and he is the one that brought up the emergency, the self-closing thing. But I kind of like the first guy. I don't know. I just thought he was, they just sound like they do everything. He was like, oh yeah, we install those code systems all the time. But
I also think we only need one code thing on the tennis courts. That's my vote.
yeah,
I think you should just have one in and one out. I don't think you need multiple. That's my vote on that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I will tell you, the only problem I think we're going to run into with this code thing, right, is the fact that we've had the back gate vandalized. It was, there was a chain around it. It was locked and it was vandalized. Why didn't they just walk around to the front and use the front one that was open? I don't know. But now that the whole thing is going to be locked, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's true.
I think we're gonna end up with more problems because we're doing this than we had prior.
Well, here's the thing, the maintenance, I mean, there's a lady that walks her dog in there. There's another lady.
Yeah, she was there. And the guy, I'll be honest with you, I think the guy was giving lessons again the other day.
I mean, because that's basically it's a liability. If you leave the gate open like that, that's a liability.
But if we don't put a lock on the back gate, a code lock like we have on the front, and
That's
that
fine.
gate has to be locked, what's the sense of it?
No, there's a chain on the other doors are locked right now. There's chains around them. There's a chain and a keypad lock. I don't know who has that key. Is that you, John?
No.
The 2 other doors to the tennis court are locked. And yeah, what I'm saying is if we lock the 3rd door, we're going to have even more vandalism with the kids trying to get in. But I think we should do it, because there is a lot of, they should have a pass. It's kind of, they should have a pass, and especially the guy I think that's giving lessons. I don't even know if he has a pass or if any of his clients have passes. So
No, he doesn't have a pass. As of 2019, he didn't have a pass.
I don't know if it's the same person, but whatever.
Is he looks Indian. Is he from Pakistan or India? Is that the
Yeah, I
guy?
kind of saw him from far away. Yeah, he might be.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the same guy.
Kind of arrives, and then I'm not like stalking whatever, but I see him like arrive and then bring all the balls in, and then the couple arrives, and he's sort of instructing them. I can hear, so I think I know what's going.
I think I know the couple, like who you're referring to, and they do have a park pass, because they were the people who told me about even getting park passes before I knew about the tennis courts here. But I mean, in some respects, when we say this, I think we should be happy that people are using the tennis courts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why we would care unless there were people in town not able to use the courts, or this guy's giving lessons and it's like doing something wrong there, then like I think if people go for a walk and they see somebody hitting tennis balls there, it makes our park look healthy and vibrant, and people should be happy that it's in use rather than worrying about it or trying to figure out ways to keep people from playing.
Yeah, I mean, he's not there with the same people all the time. That's the other thing. But again, I mean, the other way to solve the problem is have someone, one of us sit there a couple of times in the beginning of the summer and just remind people when they're coming in, set up a little table and say, would you like to buy a park pass? Do you have one? We could do that. But I don't know. Who knows who's the person that knows how many passes were bought? I guess Darlene.
Leslie.
Well, yeah.
Or we could look, when we get a budget, we could maybe figure that out through the treasurer.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call.
I think the pass that I have also expires soon. Like, I think that they were for certain seasons, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is a lot. When it's a nice day, there's always somebody playing there. And sometimes there's two couples there. And the thing about the lessons is, I know that there's got to be times when someone shows up and there's someone else and he's, somebody's, getting lessons. So is that really fair? I don't know.
Well,
Observe that happening, I guess is the question. Like, do we know?
I've been there. I've only been there once when there have been more people than demand. And like, I think general like etiquette is that if people are waiting for a court, you don't play more than an hour. Now that's different if somebody is there doing lessons all day, like then they are taking that up. But I really don't think that they're being, I mean, I'm probably there a few times a week and granted not that much on like the weekends, but I don't think that it's that big of a problem.
But what about insurance? I mean, who's going to cover that guy in the tennis courts? I mean, gates are open, it's liability.
But that's the case with anybody playing tennis, right?
Yeah, I think
Like,
that-
I think we have tennis courts because we want people to play tennis on the tennis courts.
yes.
If he's making money at it,
Yep.
that's
You
the
better pay it.
problem.
We have that. Do we know he's making money? Have we?
Yes,
talked
I
to
asked
him?
once before. Because
And
I
have
was
we
really
asked
upset
this man to get a.
that people had to sit down on the bench and wait.
So we've observed this happening once. I'm
Yes.
I'm really concerned that we're gonna actually turn a lot of people away by putting I've walked.
Well, a
it.
lot of people know in town that they have to buy a pass to play there.
Why don't we put a sign up on the gates and start with that and say, please make sure that you have your.
There
park
is
pass."
one. There's one. Yeah, there's been one for a while.
Well, and that's what the locking system does, is it basically tells people we're serious about you need a park pass.
Yeah. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have the locking system. Like, I think that's fine to get a park pass and get your code. But I don't know how much of our own time our own personal time we should be putting into trying to figure out if somebody has it, if it's not a big problem. And I think it does like I think it looks great when there are more people in Kent Commons using Kent Commons.
You're still going to get the people, you're still going to get a lot of people who buy their passes, who buy there and go there and play. So, I mean, this is just to make sure that those people have the right to be there, that have a pass, and others that don't have a pass shouldn't be there.
Maybe
'cause
we
you're
can
talking-
set up an online
talking-
purchase.
You could do that, yeah.
That's
I mean,
good.
you're talking about, if you look at the damages that are done now, the values of those damages, I mean, that's a lot.
The only
It's-
the only people that are going to get turned off or turned away are the ones that don't have a code, that don't have a pass.
Right.
Yeah. And if they're paying for tennis lessons, I'm sure they'll go and pay for a parks pass then to do it there.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Um,
Because maintenance on those courts is expensive. I mean, you saw those net, those nets, Julia, what did they look like? They're all right?
Yeah, they look great. Yeah,
Okay.
they looked fine.
And those metal clips that are into the cement?
Totally fine.
Okay. So, but should we take those down every year?
I think that's what Leslie had told me that the company who put up the tennis courts or like had initially done them advised her not to take the nets up and down every year. I do think it's probably better for the nets if they're taken down in the winter than
Yeah,
we
'cause
see. I mean, maybe Mike knows more about this than I do, but I think that we'd probably have the nets a lot longer if we took them down in the winter.
Oh, yeah,
Definitely.
okay, so what are we gonna do?
Well, let's start with, do we have to have a third quote
Yes.
before we can move on this?
No,
Technically, yes.
technically, yes.
I believe by the rules, yes.
Okay, well, I'll put another call into that guy and ask him to send it over.
Well, maybe we can agree as a group in the absence of the third quote, whether or not we all agree that we want to install this thing.
Right.
Once we look at these.
Vote on it, because it doesn't sound like we all, think it's a good idea.
And on which gates, do we want to do this just the front? Do we want to front and back? I mean, if we could land on that, then, we don't have to rehab this conversation when we have a special meeting once the third quote comes in.
Okay, so we're talking about the tennis courts, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you only need one gated or code pass gate for the front, and that's it. The other two can be locked up by using chain locks or whatever.
My concern about the chain locks, I'll just say, is if you really want, if there is only one point of access in, and somebody talked about a shooter, I don't even want to think about this kind of thing. But
Right.
if the only way out is a chain locked fence,
Right. Okay.
that's
Good point.
me, and I also think that if the way in, if the vandalism is happening because people are breaking in through the back gate, a code pad there, as well as in the front, I think would make it look a little bit more legit, rather than, I don't feel like going around to the front to use my thing. I'm going to try to break in.
That was kind of my point.
And
If it's
John, do you
mine
need
was
to
the
enter-
safety issue.
Do you need to enter the code to get out also? How do you get out once you're in?
There's a button you can press to get out.
Okay, so you can get out faster than you can get in. Okay.
And at least, part of this is about accountability, right? So if
Right.
we know that, somebody goes to the park on a Saturday morning and they see that something really heinous has happened. You want to be able to go and pull the records of the person who used their park pass to get into the tennis court last. If we were to call the cops, that's what they would want. How do you have any kind of a system here? Do you have any kind of system? So even if the person who goes in the front gate opens up the back gate by pushing some lever to let other people in, at least you have a record of the person who got in the first place.
No,
Correct.
there's no record, because you just, the code, the mechanism, John, correct me if I'm wrong, the mechanism doesn't really store which code or
Yes, it
time.
does.
Oh, it
It-
does.
But it stores the 30 codes, but you can double up on the 30, but it doesn't tell you the times exactly.
If my code is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, you wouldn't be, it's only a 3-digit number, and you wouldn't
Okay,
use
if
one.
my code is 1, 2, 3, you can look and see that I've gone in 3 times in the past week with my 1, 2.
Yeah,
Oh, you can. Okay, I didn't know that. Big brother.
But I think that's why we started talking about this whole thing in the first place a couple meetings ago, was because we were concerned that there was vandalism.
right.
And it was less about liability or any of that other stuff. It was, how do we keep out people who are mistreating these courts
Right.
we paid a lot of money for?
Right, I didn't know, I misunderstood. I thought we said you can enter up to 30 codes, but you don't really know who's got what code and what code is being used to get into the door. I didn't realize that. It doesn't matter, either way, it doesn't matter, but, I mean, Julia brought up a good point. Is it really a big deal if someone is giving lessons on the tennis court if no one's waiting to use the court? If they're just going to be there an hour, whether you're playing with your husband or your friend or someone that's giving you lessons for an hour, does that matter that much?
I
If
think it
he's,
happens in every single town, everywhere. Like that's what a lot of these freelance pros do. Like there are apps and web pages now where you can do like find a pro in this zip code and you meet at a local public court. But I don't think that as long as you have a park pass, I don't think any of us should care who the person with the park pass is hitting tennis balls with.
I kind of agree with that because I honestly, sometimes my husband likes to play and a lot of times he doesn't have anyone to play with, and he might want to call if he knows a pro, he might want to pay somebody to hit with him and teach him some stuff. So
I think that we have an opportunity here to make it look like the town cares about how the facility is used.
Mhm.
So we're going to put on a modicum of security that dissuades vandals and people who just want to go in and kind of screw around. Then you have the signage option, which is you can say in a very friendly way, welcome to our course. Here are a couple of rules of engagement. If another person is waiting, please confine your match to this or no longer than an hour. Interested in giving lessons? Please contact the Parks and Recreation. We'll help you make it happen. Contact the Parks and Recreation office. So because you're right, you're going to have like your friend who's a really awesome tennis player taking you down to show you how to serve, and then is that really a lesson? But if somebody is running a business on the courts and not letting people in, that's another problem. But to me, my vote would be to put the locking mechanisms on the front and the back gate so that you don't have only one point of coming in and exiting, and some happy signage, and watch people go use the court. I agree. We want people to be active in our parks. We don't want them to we're not trying to make a some kind of a 50-foot wall that says don't even bother.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you on all that.
And responsible, active and responsible. Yeah.
I agree totally. If the guy is bringing clients there, then I think he should come and discuss it with us, and we could do a program with him, such as we're doing with Michael and Julia. If it's somebody who has a park pass and they hire him separately, but they use our tennis courts that they have a current park pass for, I have no problem with that.
And if we sponsor somebody like Mike to give lessons, that is, we're telling him these are the times that Mike gets the courts, and that
Yeah.
goes up as a laminated sign. I just think that part of it is people kind of look around and go, does anybody really care what happens here? And if we put up these monitoring systems and we put up some signage that's colorful and friendly and welcoming, people will see that we're paying attention. Your Parks and Rec people are paying attention to what's happening here. We're trying to make fun happen for people in a responsible way.
Correct. Excellent. So we're going to go ahead for the third estimate and call a special meeting. Yes, no?
I think to be fair, since we do know that there's a third person, if there's like sometimes when we were cleaning out the pool, we just couldn't get 3. So we kind of had to go with what we had, but
Right.
we do know that there's a third one out there, and I think we should just make another attempt to see if he wants to bid on this job. When that happens and we have, I think you said you might go back to Adesi and Silvestri and fix them up a little bit when we have 3 clean ones. Hopefully in the next few days or whatever it takes, we can call a special meeting and get the ball rolling again.
Is it possible that John and I could just do it so we don't have to pull you guys all together again for this?
No.
We have to- Okay,
I think it-
I think it would be a good idea for the special meeting too, if we just had a document that went out beforehand, just with the specifically
Yes.
what we're gonna vote on, and then we could just maybe make it, 10-minute meeting and
You got it.
Or,
You got
yeah,
it.
maybe John and I can discuss it and just give you a little synopsis of what we think we should do, and then,
Well, I
yeah,
think when
make
you
your
get them,
recommendations.
yeah, email them out to everybody,
okay.
not
Well,
just, you know,
I send them to you and you email them out, right? Does it have to go through
I
you?
did not, but
Okay. Should I?
they,
Okay, I'll send it to you and then you can just forward it to everyone.
just send it out to everybody.
Okay,
You don't need to send it to me and then out, just at this
Okay.
point. Normally, yes, maybe you'd send it to the director and she'd disperse it, but at this point, I don't, you know,
okay.
And
So
and
the
they will
town-
become part of our meeting.
I don't mean to have said that, like, what I said is what we should all assume we've agreed on. That was just what I was proposing, but, if we want to wait to decide where we want to, how many we want to put in and all that other things, we can do that till the special meeting, or we could decide now so we're ready to go, as long as we approve a bid.
So maybe we make a motion with those clarifications, so Diane can make sure that we're comparing apples to apples on these bids. Because it may, it sounds like it's changed a little bit. And we can start that motion, and if it passes, it passes. If it doesn't, we go back to talking. So would you like to make that motion?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we look to install a key card system, locking system on both the front and back entrance to the Kent Common Park, the Emery Park, Kent Common Tennis Courts.
It would be a key punch. It wouldn't be a card.
Key punch, okay.
Can I have a second
Second,
discussion? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
so going forward with all the other stuff that's going on in the parks, Diane, did you have a chance to talk to the tree warden in town?
No, he hasn't gotten back to me.
Okay, we still have to do, to all the members of the commission, we still have to do a risk aversion. We, basically what it is just to go around and check all the trees to make sure that they're not in danger of falling on somebody in the playing areas on both parks. And what we do is after that, we put out a bid for the trimming of the trees and whatever else that needs to be done, whether it be tying them or bolting them together, whatever it has to be done. As far as Commons Park goes, Ed Matson's taken a lot of my chores away from me, thank God, because I can't get out. So we've gotten gravel from the town for the walkways, to rebuild the walkways, add more gravel to it. And we have, Ed has a sprayer that I normally used to do with a hand pump for spraying all the weeds in the past. So he can get that done a lot faster now than I could ever have done before. So basically, that's about it for now. Doesn't seem to be any repair needed for the shed at Emery Park. But there is one bench that needs to be repaired by the gates, by the pool, and that's about it. We're blocking off the, well, if we go with a summer camp, the back entrance was a way that a lot of people used to get in there to the park down below. So if we go with a summer camp, we'll have to fix that roadway, and that's something that the town will probably have to take care of. Because right now and even the crossover to the culvert that goes to the back field needs to be repaired with gravel as well. So we pointed out all these things out to the town, and we gave them a list. And so they haven't acted on any of these things, especially at the Commons entrance there, where more dirt has deteriorated around the culvert and making it kind of more and more riskier for pedestrians to cross or for cars to cross. So these things they know about, and it's in their ball, it's in their hands, so let them handle that stuff. But that's about it, guys.
I did reach out to Kevin, who was the the lead counselor, head counselor, whatever, of Camp Kent, and he's already taken another position for this summer. So at this point, I don't know about camp. That's going to be a lot of work, although I would like to offer it, even if we don't get it up and running right in June. You know, having a few weeks might be good, because I know that all the camps around here are filled up, and our camp is not expensive. So I'm gonna keep working on that if it's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
We can put that on the special meeting.
I mean, what else do we stand for? We don't have too many things going on.
I'm just taking some notes. Is there anything else on the parks?
Well, that's it for me.
Okay, bye, Kate.
Sorry, I had a question about, just because I'm not sure exactly how it works. In our last meeting, we made those recommendations to the first selectmen's or the selectmen about the roads at Emory, and also that culvert in, you know, where do those things go after we make a notification in our minutes? You know, we're making a recommendation to the town that they look at this, and I was wondering to myself, where do they go from there? Do we have any traction on that?
John?
Well, I'll tell you, what it does is normally goes to Rick Osborne. And Rick's been putting off the culvert over at Commons Park for the last 2.5 years. So obviously it's not a big concern for them, which is sad, but because it makes us look bad. But I mean, it's in their ballpark. I mean, there's nothing else we can do. If anybody else can come up with a better idea, I mean, we're going through the processes. It's just they're totally ignoring it. So
I
Yeah,
just wanted to make sure that, you know, we did that because we wanted to have liability away from us.
right, exactly.
You know, just because we say something and it goes in some minutes that nobody reads outside of us, are we really, you know, are we really free of liability because we made a recommendation that no one saw?
No, Ed took him around. Ed took
Okay.
him around,
That's what I wanted to
showed
hear.
him everything where we're needed, and it's in their ballpark. I mean, we can't. I mean, this is this thing that I've always been fighting for the last 6 years. I mean, with the town, so it's nothing new, unfortunately.
That's what I wanted to hear, John. So thank you very
You're
much. I wanted to make sure that somebody had at least taken them around to show them. That's great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else on parks? Okay, master plan. Our master Abigail has left. Does anybody else have anything on that?
No, I think we should get started. I mean, now's a good time. Everybody's opening up, getting out there. I think we should come up with some sort of a survey before the end of school year and send it out to all the parents, and then have them send it back to us.
and John, after that, the next step is to have it looked at by the experts to give us their recommendations on what we could be doing with the spaces going forward.
Are you talking about the master plan?
Yeah.
Well, no, we first have to do like a survey from
Well,
the town.
yeah, we do a survey, and then
Right.
after we hear back from the public,
Right.
we would give that information to them, and then we pay them to look at the parks and then give us an idea of what we could be doing.
Right, that would be something in the field of Miranda and Abigail's.
Okay. Because I know I don't know anything, I don't really understand how the budget works, but I know you said we had money left in the budget, or Ed was saying we did.
Yes,
But
we do.
did
I don't
it
know how much it is.
I'm thinking like, is there any way to make that happen? We could use that money, you know, if we're gonna if we have money that we're gonna lose, if we can move forward with that, it would be great.
Well, Lynn, can you transfer any of that money to a different account or not?
If you give me a minute, I can probably figure out the codes and do it right now.
Okay.
I'm totally kidding. Oh my God, no. No.
Long day. You've had a long day. Okay.
No.
Yeah, but we got to spend that money. I mean, there's a lot of money in there. I mean, if we don't have the summer camp, that's a big loss. So.
I didn't.
Money's there and it's not being, couldn't we say, well, we didn't use it for this, but can we use it for this? You know? I feel like it's hard to get this thing launched off the ground.
You can switch line items. I can tell you our treasurer is not a fan of that. Our town treasurer.
But we should move forward with this. I mean, because I mean, it's been like 3 years now, isn't it? Two and a half years now. Yeah, I mean, I don't want it to end up like the sidewalk committee where it's been 12, 14 years and not any, what do they got to show for it? Absolutely nothing. So. But yeah, I mean, I think we should come up with some sort of, let's start the ball rolling by having a survey. We'll come up with some questions. And ask people.
Can I speak? Because I'm not technically on this board. And so I don't know what the rules are, but I don't want to break the rules, but if I could.
Go for it.
So, yes, I agree that you at some point you will need to do a survey. You got to be careful with the survey. I think that it needs to be done by a professional and it needs to be scientific so that you're reaching a certain percentage of the population. That would be what I would suggest for the survey. I'm not sure if I would do that first, but it would be kind of in the beginning phases of what you decide to do for the master plan. I agree, master plans are great tools, but I think you want to make sure that you move forward in a way that makes sense. So, yeah, and you know, it's a little.
In your professional opinion, what would you do first then, other than the survey?
Well, generally you start with like an analysis of what you have, what your facilities are, what condition they're in. So site analysis, put all that background information together. And then you at some point want to engage the community to get them on board, get some excitement going, but you know, it's kind of I would say your analysis portion,
right.
And then you've got your community engagement, which would include a survey, and then public meetings. And then generally the last part of it is what you end up recommending for improvements. So you got to go through all that stuff before you can say, okay, well, I think we want to do this with Kent Commons Park. So you've got to talk to the community, ask them what they want. But like I said, I think it's really important that the survey be done well and correctly.
Well,
And worded properly.
It's all putting the cart before the horse if you do this before you engage with the company who's going to be your master planning company, right? I mean, you really would want those people on board before you do any of this.
Oh, correct. I mean,
Yeah.
you want to hire somebody. I mean, it's gonna look better, I think, to the community if someone is doing this. That's, you know, not just the board or the director or whatever. It's a lot of work. So you're gonna want to hire somebody to do it.
Just a quick question, Miranda. Did we never signed anything with your company, correct?
No.
Okay, you just gave us a proposal and that was about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
I mean, we bogged down in the, in moving things forward. I think we hit a wall with the selectmen. With our, trying to come up with what's our real budget for this and what hoops are they going to make us jump through? And I feel like they have successfully pushed us off to the side, because we don't really know what they want, how much more they want from us. It's been unfortunate.
Yeah, but if we have the, after we get the master plan set up, I'm sure that people will realize that we're going forward. And I think the selectmen will realize that this is something positive for the town.
Yeah, but if
It's
they
good.
won't even let us hire a firm, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
With my recollection, and I agree with you, it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
My recollection was we were ready to go. We wanted to put this out to bid with an RFP.
Right.
That was it. And that's where the curtain came down.
Yep.
Well, we have a new selectman now after 2 years. Maybe we should try again.
I don't think the selectmen can't tell you not to put it out. I think it was the funding for it or something, right?
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe we should
I
look
think-
back at our minutes.
Yeah, I think it was part of the funding. I mean, the first $8,000, I think it was, right, Miranda?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. I think that you were short just a small amount.
Right.
And you can always ask whoever ends up doing it to do it in phases.
Right.
And you can do it that way, which, ideally you want it to be kind of a fluid process where you're kind of doing everything in one shot, but you also want to get it done. So if you need to break it up into 2 phases or 3 and try to do them as consecutively as you can, then that's better than doing nothing, I guess.
Yeah, because we already have an assessment on the equipment, because we all went, Diane and I went through the parks, both parks, and pointed out flaws and things that were wrong with each piece of equipment and that needed to be repaired or replaced. So we have an assessment of those items.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, of all the phases that you could do in-house, the beginning analysis,
Right.
what you have, probably the one that you could do.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So moving on, I guess.
5-year capital plan, I have nothing. No timing on that. Sports program, baseball status. I'm not sure what happened to that. I received an email that was forwarded to me. And it was the Sharon Park and Rec asking who he should be in touch with. And I emailed him back on what we need to do, but I never heard back, and I will reach out to him again. I did not get a monthly budget report, but I will ask for one. And next up is the concert series. Connie, you still with us?
I am.
Your turn.
Oh, it's my turn? Oh
Well-
dear. Okay. I mean, really, I was tuning in to see what had been done and if dates were chosen. I mean, that's,
I have not done anything with the concert series. I don't think anything has been done.
No, we just had some dates out there, but
did we have
Leslie-
dates, John? All I heard was Thursdays. 6 weeks in a row.
Didn't Leslie reach out to the bands or no?
I'm
Did
not
somebody
sure.
reach out and
not
confirm
sure.
them?
I'm not sure.
I think she had said that she had confirmed with all of the bands from last year that they would be interested in
Yeah.
participating again, but I don't think we got to specific dates for specific bands.
Right. I mean, to me personally, I think, Connie and the group did a great job. Have it in the same spot, yes. I don't, it was fantastic, right, Connie?
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, that part was set, like I had, earlier this year, maybe as far back as January, when we were making our budget for the land trust, I connected with Leslie and, we, at least on the land trust part, we committed to doing the concerts. And I think that I have even something from Park and Rec where we discussed like who would be doing what part and what part to put in whose budget and so on and so forth. And the upshot of that was, I think that like the electric was KLT, the bands were Park and Rec, if I recall. So I have all of that. It's a matter of actually getting the dates and the bands. And I think that setting up the Eventbrite was also us at KLT.
So basically, if we did it in the summertime, like we normally do it by the town hall, I mean, would that interfere with your cutting of the grass and your money?
I don't understand what you're asking me, John.
Do you make any money off cutting the grass where we had the concerts?
No, we paid for that. You guys paid for that out of pocket last year. It's not, generally we would have a hay farmer takes hay off of that field, to the extent that it's useful. Because we usually do something around Memorial Day, which we are doing this year. We're doing a concert with the Joint Chiefs. The first mow is not particularly useful for hay farmers. And so sometimes we will pay for that. And then we used to let it grow for the rest of the year. And there was a farmer who would take it basically, no income, no expense on our part. And we loved having the concerts in the field. We want to do that again with Park and Rec. But I just need to, I thought maybe we could figure out who needs to do what in next steps.
Is
Would
that
someone like
something
to work-
a subcommittee usually gets formed for, or I'd be willing to get involved.
Do you want to be the lead with Connie on that, Michael?
No problem.
Okay. I would start
Wait.
with reaching out to Jean since we can't get into the town hall. I'm not Jean, reaching out to Joyce. She has access to all Leslie's paperwork and computer files and stuff, and you can start getting that information together.
Okay. Joyce, you said?
Yep, it's admin assist at townofkentct.org.
Yeah, and Michael, I can send you what my last communications with Leslie were. I think we're in good shape. We just have to choose the dates.
Mhm.
And if we choose the Thursdays, then we can reach out to the band and figure out who's available when. And it should fall into place pretty easily. We just need to start.
Yeah,
Joyce.
definitely. We did a little survey that we sent to get the ball rolling, but I'm glad that you are picking it back up because, yeah, we need to keep the momentum. So I'll email or reach out to Joyce, and then I'll email you separately, and we can figure out a time to talk.
What were the
Perfect.
results? What were the results of that survey, Mike?
Remember the PDF I sent you, John?
Oh, right,
We went
okay,
over
yeah.
it like 2 meetings ago, I think.
Yep. Okay.
Do we want to continue to have them on Thursday, Sunday? I think we can settle that part now.
I think, to be honest with you, I think Sunday's worked out great. Connie?
We're good with Sunday. Like a couple months ago, we were told you guys wanted Thursday. We're good with Thursday too. Whatever you want.
Yeah, I think most people did say Thursday, but John was the person who was actually at the event, so his Sunday carries a little more weight. I'm not sure. That's kind of how I remember the discussion.
Yeah, we had a lot of turnout on Sundays compared to probably during the week. But I was going to say too that there's only 2 days, 2 of those events that really didn't draw a lot of people, but they still had like 25 cars. I mean, that's not bad.
We could even do a mix of Thursday and Sunday. I mean, I don't, I think that there's probably some merit in both days. There's something nice about the Thursday. The one thing, if you recall, that was our feedback on Thursdays is that it's not as easy to go into the evening as it is, at town hall, because there's no lighting at the field. So if it were Thursday, what we had discussed is opening parking. I think we said we were gonna open parking at like 5 or 5:30 and then do the 2-hour concert so that people could leave before it got dark.
Well, the other thing the other thing you have to worry about too is a lot of people go on vacations during the summer months.
That would happen no matter where we are or what day
Yep.
we put it on.
Yep.
So do we want to do Thursdays or Sundays? Do you want to do a mix?
To me, to be honest, being there Sunday was perfect.
Does anybody have a problem with just doing one day? As opposed to, I think keeping it on one day is better for people thinking like, is this week on Sunday or Thursday?
Right.
I think that if John was there and he thought that Sundays worked and Connie thinks that as well, then we should go ahead with Sundays.
Okay, you want to make that motion, Julia?
I make a motion that we do the summer concert series on Sundays.
Can I have a second, please?
Second,
Who was that?
John.
John, thank you.
Ian.
That's right.
All those in favor of having the concert series on Sunday in conjunction with the Kent Land Trust? please
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, thank you. All right, so Connie, you and Michael can take off from there.
That sounds great. Michael, I think I have your email from last summer.
Yes, that's still my email. So I'll email from you from that tomorrow.
Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you, guys. Looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Connie.
Connie, good night.
Thanks, Connie.
Okay, summer tennis proposal. Michael,
Yep. So I sent an email a little bit before the meeting, just kind of trying to narrow down on everything. Pretty simple. Let me just pull it up 1 second, please.
how many weeks in a row was it, or is it just a Tuesday and Thursday? I think that was,
So I was thinking to start with 1 week, and then if there's an interest beyond the 12 kids that I think is a good maximum number, then we could open it up to a second week. And also I'd also, if let's say maybe there weren't more than 12, but there was a great group, I would be interested in doing a second week too. I guess I'd like to just start with a first, just without knowing what the response is going to be. And so the week of July 13th is what I had circled to aim for, that Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. Julia, how does that week look for you? I haven't checked with you yet.
That week works for me. That's fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah, the following week, I should be fine with that as well.
Got it.
The only thing is that Abigail had sent me a text message before she jumped off that just one thing we might want to consider, and maybe we only consider it if signups are really light, that summer school is 3 weeks starting July 5th from 9 to 12 in the morning. So maybe we'd want to do the afternoon for the lessons. I
Yeah,
have
good to
no
know.
idea how many kids go to summer school, but
Yeah, does anyone else have thought on summer school, whether that's a conflict we should definitely avoid?
I mean, it sounds to me like if you're gonna, if you're gonna market to the mass group, this is probably the summer that's gonna be heavy summer school because of COVID.
Okay. Okay, so instead of doing 10 a.m., we'll do, yeah, I was thinking that more for like the heat and such. Trying to think.
we
I
could
guess,
do
I
like
mean,
4 p.m., 4 to 5 or something. And then kids who have other like camp or something like that would still be able to attend too.
great idea. Yep.
And
Okay,
it
so we
does
could,
cool, it does cool off there after 5 o'clock. Yep.
great. So we'll change that to a 4 p.m. As far as, well, I guess I'll just go through everything quickly and then we can talk about the things I wanted to get feedback on. So we would ask the players to, make sure they have a racket, that they have, appropriate tennis sneakers, and then just to be prepared to be outside in the sun for an hour. Julia had said she's going to spearhead kind of gathering youth rackets that kids could borrow if they didn't have their own. We'll be doing the teaching. The Parks and Rec, according to Leslie, has the budget to purchase the tennis balls. And then I figured we would also have, a water station, maybe some light food, and something fun either for the end of the week or for the end of the day if we do little contests or whatnot. So I just did we don't really need much for this. We just need tennis balls, really. We have an account with BSN, which is probably the easiest way to do it, but they're also, their prices are at a premium to what I found on Amazon. So what I would need are, they have these youth tennis balls that have a little less air in them than regular tennis balls. So they move a little slower, they bounce a little lower. It's easier for the kids. So I'd like to buy, just going over my head now, I'd like to have probably 10 balls per child. So you plan on having, probably 120 of these low compression balls. So that's kind of be the most expensive. So that would be either 250 if we buy them off of the BSN, or 180 if we buy them off Amazon. Apparently we have one tennis hopper, so I would just need a second one for the other court. That's $55 on BSN. It's $30 on Amazon.
I have
And
a
then,
tennis hopper. that we-
okay, awesome. Great. So then we wouldn't need that. And then I think it might be a good idea to buy regular tennis balls as well. They come in cans that until you open them, they stay pressurized. So I think you can kind of look at it as an investment in the program, if not, but I think we should have an equal number of regular tennis balls to the kids' balls, just in case, the program grows or the kids are ready for the real balls or whatnot. But anyways, those are $120 for a case, or $80 a case. So yeah, so on the high end, I would need approval for $425 or less the hopper. So that's $375 roughly, or $240 roughly. And then the $10 weekly fee, that's just, I was trying to pick an amount that wouldn't deter anybody from signing their kid up, but would also be enough to, not be willing to skip it if their kid
Yeah,
woke up like a
commitment.
little grumpy or something. So that amount I just pulled out of a hat, but I guess what do you guys think of that $10 per kid for two clinics?
I think you're selling yourself short.
Thank you.
And this is Julie and I are both just volunteering our time, so any money is just going right back into the Parks and Rec. So I guess maybe we'd want to break. I don't know how we approach the fee, if we're looking to break even on what we spend, or if it's just something nominal to get people to commit. But
Usually we break even. So, I mean, whatever you want to charge, Mike, is fine.
All right.
There is, Julie, did you ever get a chance to go into a community house downstairs in the basement? We have a big storage room there that has all kinds of baseball, tennis equipment.
No, I was gonna wait until closer to the date. I haven't had a chance to, and I didn't want to get anything out and then have to store it at my house or anything.
Yeah, it's a large equipment, athletic equipment in there. So, yeah.
I don't know that there's a lot of tennis stuff in there, but.
Well, the last time I looked, we had at least one case that I saw in the corner. And then there was a whole bunch of soccer balls, baseballs, all kinds of stuff in there.
Mhm.
all right, so we could I doubt they would have any useful tennis balls in there, and we have
Yeah.
the hoppers. So anything we find in there would just be a bonus, but definitely that's great to know, John. So I guess is this something that, I hope there's interest, but also at the same time, I don't want it to be like oversubscribed by people that aren't Kent residents. So I was just curious, what's the best way to promote this so that we, we find the right Kent kids, as how I envisioned it, at least.
I personally think it should go through the school and social media.
Okay.
I think that because of the big price difference, that it should go through Amazon. But I would
Okay.
also wait to order, since you can, get that in 2 to 3 days, to make sure that kids are signing up.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I would do at least $10 per session.
Okay.
And then if you get 12 kids at 20, that's your $240, and that covers your expenses.
Perfect. So who should I talk to about promoting it through the school and social media?
We'll have to reach out to Joyce so that it comes from Park and Rec email, and write something up for her.
Okay.
Like, basically what you have here looks great. Whatever you, well, it's not really a flyer because this is more informational for us, but can you make up a flyer?
Yes.
And I would send that to Joyce with an explanation, or even give her a call.
Okay.
Tell her this is coming through and that we need it to go to the school from Park and Rec. I'd also like to be able to get like Park and Rec Facebook page information, and we can start putting it on there. And it will probably need to go, hopefully we'll have an interim director that can have that information and put it on our website as well.
And Kent Community Facebook page. Yeah.
Yeah, social
Yep.
media stuff, yep. Well, we'll put it on there, see what we get, but you can always do, New Milford pages that hit the Gailersville crowd,
Right.
and the Northwest Corner Chatter is another page if we go that way, but to keep it more local would be, that's, the
Well,
Kent
are you
pages
gonna,
in school.
are you gonna say it's just for Kent residents?
I think that was part of what I was thinking with, if you just advertise it locally to start with, hopefully that's what you'll get.
Yeah, I mean, if you put it on the community page, people might start sharing it, but if you put, something in the flyer that it's, tennis program for Kent residents.
But if we don't
Yeah,
get
'cause I
enough
mean-
Kent residents, then we could start reaching out farther. That was,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because it's priced to go, for lack of a better word. So I would like
Fine, if-
to try to attract the people in the town first, and then, yeah, if there isn't as much interest as we thought, then we expand it, but at least give it to the town first.
Tennis programs are usually expensive, so I think it's great.
Mm.
I'm
You
thinking
might get that other guy out of business, Mike.
I think it might get a lot of interest, and I think people are going to want to do more than two sessions is my guess.
Well, good. Yeah. I mean, I think if once we get the balls and everything, it's something that can be replicated pretty quickly without much effort. So that's kind of why I just want to start committing to 1 week, but then there's still a lot of summer left after that week if it is a success.
Do you want to start with 2 weeks, Michael? 4 sessions?
I could, yeah, but I guess would one sign up be for 4 sessions or one sign up for each session per week?
I'm just thinking if you have a beginner, 1 or 2 sessions doesn't,
Cut it.
yeah, if they want to keep progressing or. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, I guess my
I
thought
agree.
was like if the kid shows interest after a couple lessons, then it's like I've done my part, and then they can go into the world of the world of youth sports.
Mhm.
But I'm not trying to turn this into like a full-time thing, really.
Good point. I'm fine with seeing how it goes. And like you said, if you get more children, then you want to put them into the next week already anyway.
Okay, let's start that way then. And like I said, we can quickly add dates if there's interest. So do I need to get any motions going from what we see here? I think I agree with you that nothing needs to be purchased, until June or July.
Yes, we should make a motion on an amount that you're allowed to spend. And then do you have an Amazon account you can do it? I don't know if this town has an Amazon account like that.
They do.
Okay, so you can just do it through them and get it ordered like that, but when you're ready. So I would say the motion should say a certain dollar amount and permission to move forward if somebody would like to make that.
Am I allowed to make it?
No.
Okay.
Maybe, but it's probably better if somebody else does it.
I can make a motion for us to move forward with the tennis program, running the dates that Mike suggested, but with a 4 p.m. start time, and for him to spend up to $290. Or I'll just say $300.
That's good.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Or any discussion? I'm sorry. All those in favor, say aye, please.
I
You heard one. Any
Yes.
opposed?
Nope. Nope.
Thank you. Thank you, Michael and Julia. I think you'll have a good turnout. Let me know when you're proposing one for adults.
Definitely. Yeah, that's
Mike-
next.
Mike, you can get anything you want at Davis IGA for like water and anything else that you want. We have an account there. All
Oh,
right.
that's
Park
awesome.
and Rec.
Good to know. Great.
All right, summer program status. We kind of covered everything that we're working on. I don't know if there's anything more to add to that.
I have a quick question on that.
Sure.
Just in terms of if we do open the pool, I have a camp. There's a camp that's running up here at Marvelwood this summer. Camp Dunnebeck. It used to be at Kildonan School, and they're looking for a place to swim. So that I don't know what we might extend to them to bring a group down. They're probably only going to be about 35 to 40 kids. It probably wouldn't be every day, but I don't know how they would go about applying for that option, or what if we are moving forward. I told them I'd ask tonight.
Okay.
Be
I
great
think
if
if
we,
we, yep. Go ahead, whoever was gonna speak.
I said it'd be great if we had the lifeguards too, so.
Yeah, we'd have to have the lifeguards. If we have camp there, then there would not be room for them, but if we don't have camp, then I'm sure that we could, not I'm sure, but we could talk about working something out.
Thank you.
When does that start, Blythe, do you know?
It is, I don't know, I want to say like end of June for 5 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks.
All right. New business, park and rec director search. We did talk about that just a little bit before. Where is the committee will be meeting, I'm guessing, the subcommittee?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Okay, what's your next step after this interim, after an interim is hired? We need
Then-
to start discussing the job description.
Right,
I think that the commission was going, the way that I remember it was that as a commission, we needed to figure out what exactly we were going to look for and put together in the job description for the
right.
whole time.
Everybody can work on that in their head this month.
Have there been any interviews yet or not?
Not for the director, but the interim director. Selection was made and they're finalizing details.
Great.
All right, and then our last point of business is the ball fields. And I put that on as new because
I will
Miranda
try to
wanted.
be very quick. I don't really have a whole lot of updates. Unfortunately, I was hoping to hear back. I had met with a guy who owns a business called Tri-State Goose Control, Tri-State Geese Control. And he came out and we walked the field. And he was supposed to get me, I called him this morning, we met last week. He's supposed to get me a proposal, just so we could see what that kind of thing looks like. What they do is they bring dogs, border collies out to the fields. And they kind of herd the geese, but they have to do it frequently. And he was suggesting 5 days a week. So, you know, my initial instinct on that is that it sounds expensive. So, but I kind of just wanted to get a feel for what that kind of thing costs. So yeah, I'm still waiting. He, like I said, I called him this morning. He said he was going to send it to me, but I never received it. So I'll just keep bugging him about it. As far as the other things that we were talking about overseeding, which unfortunately can't be done until the fall. And then we were also talking about doing some kind of grub control. I asked the guy who he's with it, New England Turf, and they have a contract with us already to do work here at the fields. I asked if it could be done before July, and he said yes. However, in reading the literature on the product, it says that the ideal time for application is optimal timing is late July or early August. And it has to do with the like larval stage that the bugs are in. So, you know, I guess, and it was fairly expensive. I think it was like, I have to go back and look at the email, but it was like $4,000 or something to do it. So you know, we have money in the budget this year. For whatever reason, we had like 20 grand in the budget. He said they could do it. How effective that would be, I don't know. It's kind of like you're taking a risk there with a lot of money, but you know, it's something we could try, but it may not work that well. So that's kind of the update on that. And then I don't really know what we're gonna do. We just might have to wait on the overseeding if we don't have money in the budget for it, unless we ask to be transferred other money. Because that was not planned for. So that, I think, is the update on that.
Didn't Marty said something about the sprinkler system? They were going to repair that this year?
He said they've done a lot of work on it already. It's something to do with the thing that, I'm sorry, I'm gonna forget the name of it, that rolls out onto the fields. I think that they just need to get that out, but I would have to double check with them on that. Yeah, obviously if we seed in the fall, we probably want to be able to water it.
Right, as much as possible, yeah. Okay.
What did they kill the grubs with?
The product that this person is recommending, and there's very few options because it's a school site, is called Grub Gone. And it's an organic product that uses some kind of, it's like a bacteria, I think, that it's called the bioinsecticide. And I can certainly send this this little cut sheet on it, but like I said, there's very little that we can do because it's K-8. So
yeah. What about the geese? Are they still there? The problem?
I haven't seen geese lately. You know, right now they're nesting, and so they might be off wherever they nest. I imagine, you know, the worst times for us is probably the fall and maybe the spring, but right now I haven't noticed them that badly.
Yeah, they're all at my school.
Good.
You gotta stop feeding them.
No kidding, right?
You can ask the public to just walk their dogs there all the time.
Yeah, right.
But then we're looking for other problems. We're looking for dog poop problems.
So yeah, I don't know. You know, I guess we should decide whether we want to go forward with the Grub Gone before the end of the fiscal year, or if we want to ask for more money in the next fiscal year to do it when it's more of a sure bet. And by sure bet, and you know, who knows.
So the end of the school, the end of the period is June 27th?
June 30th, yeah.
30th, okay. And school ends when?
June 17th, I think.
So we got a week there, okay.
Miranda, did the guy say that he wasn't sure it was going to work well, or did you just happen to notice that in the insert?
No, he did not. He said they could do it before June, but you know, he's a contractor, so
yeah, he just wants to.
It's just in the literature, that's just what it says. Or in the cut sheet, it says ideal time is July or August. And then it says it says optimal timing, late July or early August. It can also be applied through the fall as a curative treatment. And then I think it said something about spring too, but really nothing about the time we would be trying to put it down.
It's a good thing you read it.
So
Yeah.
could we sign a contract with him now and pay for it now?
Ooh, I don't know if we want to do that.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Okay.
Usually the work has to be done. I mean, I don't know about Kent, but usually the work should be done in the fiscal year that you're.
Okay.
To
I'm
me,
still
it
wondering why we
makes
want to
sense.
kill the grubs that grow into beetles.
Well, so the grubs, so there's geese. Geese don't feed on the grubs, but there's other birds that come and kind of tear up the turf to get to the grubs. So that's kind of the main problem. I don't know enough about the grubs as if the grubs themselves are causing damage, like somehow if they're eating the roots of the grass, that this is all just a, you know, maybe that there's somehow causing damage to the turf as well. Something I would probably need to research a little more on, but generally I think it's the things that are feeding on the grubs that are causing the damage.
I'd like some more information on it,
Okay.
because I have a hard time killing the things that are gonna actually be bugs that we need.
Yeah, they're not, it's not, so it claims that it doesn't kill, it doesn't kill, the good bugs like bees and beneficial insects. But yeah, I'll send those cut sheets that I have. I'm not sure I have an email for the group, but
You should be able to get it off what I put you on this meeting, so everybody's on
yes,
there.
yeah, okay, got it. So I'll send that out to everybody to take a
Okay.
look at. I think it's a fairly common thing to do for playing fields. If, I'm not sure about, I'm sure probably Kent Schools is doing some sort of treatment, grub treatment. I did reach out to the Kent School person that manages the grounds and asked who they use, because their fields are looking pretty good now. And they also use New England turf. So yeah, there's not that many companies that service out here, but
Before we took it over, they were in charge of that field, so.
I was curious, were they maintaining it for for KCS?
Yeah, 6 years ago, they were maintaining it, and then they turned it over to the Kent School, the elementary school.
Okay, and then we just decided that we would take care of it, right?
No, They
it was
told
sort-
us we were.
It was thrown in our laps, unfortunately, yeah.
Okay.
Anything
Yeah.
else, Miranda?
No, I think that's it. Maybe when you guys decide on this special meeting, is it just going to be on the one thing, or can you add? If I have more information and something to make a motion on, I can certainly let you know.
If we can put it on the agenda, special meeting agendas cannot be changed. Monthly
Okay.
meeting agendas we can add to, but special meeting agendas are, because they're special, it's only what's been warned.
Well, we could put it down now for a special meeting, can't we?
Well,
And
yeah.
then if you don't have the information, then don't worry about it.
Right, if we added it to the agenda and we didn't have any action to do on it, at least it would be on the agenda.
Yeah, exactly. Save time.
All right.
At that point on this special meeting, just because we just brought that up, we may need to add an executive meeting then too, but we will know more about that soon. Okay. So we won't be able to schedule this special meeting until we hear back from Diane when she has all her information.
Okay, I'll let you know as soon as I get it. I'll make a couple phone calls tomorrow.
Okay. Next Park and Rec meeting is Monday, June 21st. Does anybody have anything else that they wanted to discuss tonight that we didn't go over?
Nope.
Nope.
All right. I thank you very much. We will adjourn this meeting at 8:49.
Thank
Enjoy the
you.
rest of your night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye.
Good night.